Hey guys, this is Brent with Western Equipment, and in this video I'm going to be showing you an unboxing and assembly of the John Deere AC 215 space heater, and then after that I'll also be telling you all about this unit, including its features and specs. So stick with me here and we'll get started. So before we jump into all the specs and features of this AC 215 space heater, we're going to go over what you're going to see that you're going to get in the box with this unit if you didn't purchase this unit in a dealership or a store. So if you order this unit, you get it in, this is what you're going to see. We're going to get the unit itself and its base that will not be attached, and we will need to attach that, which I'm going to show here in a minute. We are going to get our front handle and guard. We're going to get our axle, our 2 tire and wheel assembly. Now those are pneumatic tires that you will need to air up to 30 psi, as this guy will have some weight to it once you get it full of fuel. Now you're also going to have your 2 handles there that you can use for wrapping the cord up that you're going to have to use to plug this machine in. You're going to get your bag of attaching hardware there to put everything together, your instruction manual with an extra fuse, and then also your rear guard bar there. So from here, guys, I'm going to start by attaching our front handle to our unit and our base. So before we start putting this together, a couple of things we're going to need is going to be a Phillips screwdriver, as you are going to have 2 different sizes of Phillips head bolts here. So we have one that is longer than the other. Now we're going to need these in 2 different spots. We're going to start with the longer one, as we're going to be going through our top handle, through the frame of our unit, and down through the base. So that's where we're going to need this extra long bolt here. You have 4 of these, and there's going to be 4 points along this unit where you are going to use these. Now I'm showing the directions over here on the left hand side, but you're also going to need to do the same thing on the other side whenever you're putting this together. So to start, right here on our base, we're going to have a hole right here, and we're going to go line that up with our second hole from the front. So make sure you get that lined up, and then we can go ahead and grab our handle here, and we're going to get the back hole on the handle, as there's one here and one towards the front. We're going to get it lined up so we have all 3 pieces of our handle, our unit, and our base all lined up here, and then we can feed this bolt through, make sure it runs down all the way and out. And then we'll go on with our nut. Now these are a self-locking nut. They do have that nylon lock there on the end. So go ahead and make sure that is facing down or towards the end of your bolt there. You can go ahead and start that by hand. And then what you're going to need is going to be an 8mm socket. So we're going to get on there and then go ahead and grab our Phillips and start tightening this down. Now don't get this super tight, as like I said, you do have to go over on the other side and start that one as well. So just get this semi-tight, then go ahead and swing around to the other side and tighten that one down, start it as well. So once we have this one in, going through handle, unit, and bottom base on both sides, now we can move up here to our front hole on the handle, and this is where we're going to use that shorter bolt. We're just going to make sure that it is lined up with the front hole here on the unit. Go ahead and stick that through and start our nut there on the bottom, again making sure that our nylon locking piece is facing towards the bottom. Now once again, you are going to have to do this on both sides, and make sure once again that we're not getting everything too tight, as we need to make sure that we can still wiggle and adjust to get our back guard on here in a minute. All right, and once you have that semi-tight, just make sure that you're going to the other side and doing the same thing. Okay, so once we've got our front handle on, we can move back here to the back. Once again, same thing, we have 2 holes here in the unit. This one closer towards the middle of the unit is what's gonna line up with our base here. So we need to just move and make sure that that is adjusted to line up with our hole through our base. Then we can take our rear guard here and get it lined up onto that hole as well. Same thing, the one that's going to be closer towards the machine here, towards the middle of the machine, we're going to line it up with that hole, and once again taking that longer bolt, pushing it down through. And once again, you're going to have this same setup on the other side, so make sure and go do that, and then we'll move to the back. Once we have both sides of our front of our rear guard here put on, now we can move to the back. This is again where we're going to have that shorter bolt here. Just going to make sure those holes are lined up. Now here we're just going through the guard and the unit. Just go down through, putting on our nut here, but making sure we don't snug everything up too tight. All right, so we can get this started. And once again, guys, just make sure we're doing that on the other side as well. Okay, so once we have all of those bolts started on our rear guard and our front handle, now we can go back through and snug everything up, get everything tight, and that way when we lift up on this unit, we can see now that the base does stay connected, everything's tight, and then also just take a minute to make sure we didn't get our guard and handle flip-flopped. It's very easy to do, guys. Just make sure that your front handle is the higher one that's up above, that way it's out of the path of the heat, and our rear guard goes right back here around the back of the unit. So from here, now that we're done with that, we can start with putting on the wheels. So putting in our axle and our wheels, very simple job. We're simply going to take our axle here and take off one of our end nuts here. Then we'll start with one of our tires here, making sure that our valve stem is facing towards the end of the axle. So we'll go ahead and slide that axle through, getting it all the way to the end. And then we will go on with one of our bushings that will come in your hardware kit. This is going to go on the inside of the tire. That way you have that bushing, creating that space between the tire and the bottom of your base. Now from here, we're simply going to raise up on the back of our unit, slide in our axle on one side here, and then going through on the other side. And then from here, we're going to take our other bushing, slide it through, and then go on with our other wheel. Once again, making sure our valve stem is towards the outside. So we'll get that started just like that. And then make sure that we get our axle pointing all the way out to the outside where we have our threads. Then we'll go back on with our other end nut here. And to tighten that up, make sure things are snug, we're going to break out our 3/4 inch wrench here and just tighten those down just a bit. So our last step in assembling these heaters is just going to be putting on our handles. We have 2 holes here on our rear guard and 2 holes here on our front handle where we are going to put these handles on. Now these are going to go here and here, and these are what we're going to use to wrap up that extension cord that we have, because we are going to need an extension cord to run these heaters. So that is going to be our last step. We're just going to take these smaller bolts here and line up with our holes and put our nuts on and do that for all 4 bolts. All right, guys, so there you have it. That's all it takes to put together the AC215 when you order it and you get it in the box. Now, very simple instructions. You just saw them step by step. We just want to make sure that when we're done putting this together, we make sure everything's tight, as we don't want this thing coming loose, any bolts coming loose as we're moving it. Now, from here, guys, let's talk a little bit about the features of this machine, starting with right here at the model number. As we can see, it's an AC215. And that means 215,000 BTUs. So this space heater runs right up there into the top of the John Deere space heater line. The only one that we offer above it is going to be the AC400, which would put out 400,000 BTUs. And there's a few models below, like the AC190 and the AC135. So like I said, some of the features about this machine is it is going to have a high quality cast aluminum electric motor inside. It's also going to have a high quality fan that is put in there to make sure to be able to push out that heat to be able to fill those areas that you're working in. You're also going to have some safety features with this machine, as it has an integrated temperature sensing and flame out safety feature. So if you do start to overheat or have some of that flame start to push out, it does have that safety feature to turn this machine off. You're also going to have a temperature sensing unit here and your temperature dial here. So this unit will be able to sense what temperature you're at. Once you hit that temperature that you have picked, once it gets there, it will shut itself off, which is a great feature to that. We've also got a fuel gauge here and a wide fuel cap opening here, making that easy to pour in those different fuels. As you do have options on this machine of what you can fuel it with, you have such options as kerosene. You can use JP8 or Jet A fuel. You can use number 1 or number 2 fuel oil, or you can use number 1 or number 2 diesel. One thing to keep in mind when we're using these fuels is they're put in order there of how clean they burn. So if we go all the way up to the kerosene, we're gonna have that real clean burning fuel. And as we move on down to the diesel, you're gonna have a little bit of exhaust with those, which is another reason why this unit is not suggested to use indoors. Now, if you have a well-ventilated barn like the one that we're in here, where you're going to be using this outside, those are gonna be the more ideal situations. So just keep that in mind, as you will have exhaust that you're burning with these fuels. Now, some of the specs to this machine is it is going to be a 1/3 horsepower engine. You're also going to have a 13-gallon tank here with a fuel consumption rate of about 1.63 gallons per hour. So you will be able to run this machine for a full 8-hour day, which is a great thing. And the square footage that we're looking at with the 215,000 BTUs, you're looking at being able to heat an area of about 5,300 square feet. So for instance, here in this barn, we're about an 80 by 30, so we're about 2,400 square feet, which means that this machine is more than capable of heating the barn that we're in here currently. So it's gonna be a great unit for if you have those large barns, have those large areas you're gonna be working in and need to knock that chill off. You do have the ability with this unit to do that. Another thing that we always like to point out is the weight of these machines. Now, the dry weight without any fuel in it is about 60 pounds, so it'll be somewhat easily movable. Even though it's a little bit cumbersome, you have plenty of places to hold on. You will be able to get this thing in and out of the pickup. But keep in mind, once we get it full of that 13 gallons of fluid, you are going to add quite a bit of weight, so it could easily turn into a 2-person lift. But by itself, 60 pounds dry weight, it's going to be a fairly easily movable unit. All right, guys, so I hope after watching this video, you've liked what you've seen. I hope that you've learned everything you needed to know about these John Deere space heaters. But if you hadn't, if there's anything I forgot or you have any other questions, make sure to leave those in the comments section below so I can get back to you. Also, guys, if you did like this video and it did help you out, we'd ask that you would please hit that like button and give us a subscribe, as that helps us out as well. Now, if you've watched this video and you're thinking, where can I get one of these? I'll also put a link in the description below where you can buy one of these today. We'll have it shipped out to you, and then you can follow these instructions to be able to put this bad boy together so you can keep yourself warm for the winter. So guys, like I said, if you have any other questions, comments, make sure to leave those and check out that link in the description below. And if you have any other John Deere parts needs, whether it be for tractors, gators, lawnmowers, or one of these units here, make sure to check us out at west-equip.com/parts. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Hey guys, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and go buy your parts at west-equip.com/parts.